buddy? What's hanging? Not much. How about you? I was literally so as you can probably imagine, I'm muted? No, I'm not. I'm low. For God's sake, give me a second. Windows and their bloody and the ways they do things. Oh, for God's sake. There I am. There I am. Hi. Hi. So I just went to Spotify to go and play my regular BGM. And then I was this close to just clicking on and playing some copyrighted music that I had been listening to. I did turn supers back on. I realized I'd forgotten. Hello everyone. Thank you for being so patient with me recently. I'm sorry I had not been streaming the song. What was it again? I had a couple. What the hell? Where did it go? It just removed itself from my liked songs. What the fuck? Put it back. Put it back. I saw it for a split second and then it left my liked songs. No, it is in there. What the fuck? Why isn't it showing up? Anyway. 2 songs. I listened to that Minecraft trailer song, Time to Pretend by MGMT. It's a classic. It's really good. Remembered that recently. Listened to it. And then this other song by, how do I pronounce his name? Ibrahim Malouf, called True Sorry. He's a crazy trumpeter. My dad told me about. Oh, there it is. My dad told me about him. I'd not heard him before, but then he said it was really good. So, how have I been doing? I've been very, very tired. It's been a difficult time. I've not been sleeping very well. I'm still live. I'm still live after a whole 7 minutes. I'm surprised I made it that long. I've been very tired. Nothing particularly bad is going on. I'm just very tired. Sleep is hard sometimes, and there's just been a lot of... I think for me, when I don't have a schedule going, and I think I should be doing schedules more often, if I don't have a schedule, I tend not to be able to hold myself accountable very much. And so, it's like I don't stream on a day where I want to because I'm not feeling well, and then I kind of don't want to tweet about it and let anyone know because I feel embarrassed almost. Like I don't know. It sort of makes me feel like if I go out of my way to let you know, then that's me like, sorry, I just don't want my Twitter to be filled with me saying I'm not feeling good, So I think sometimes while I want to do more schedules to be more accountable for things, I also think that if there's a period where I'm not streaming, sometimes it's best to just let it be, sometimes I just need to disconnect for a little bit. And it sucks because right now, obviously, I'm not able to go out all that much, but I have been going out more than I did last time. Last time this happened, obviously I didn't go out at all, but I have been trying to go out a little bit. You see, even with I can kind of tuck my wings in a little bit, but you've got to remember that the stalks on these, I don't know what I'd call them, like the sort of the spines, the bits that go up, that you can't really get rid of those, but you can fold them down a bit. So with a very long coat, you can kind of go, people raise eyebrows, but you don't cause a panic or anything. And I'm going to tell you guys a little secret, right? If you go to a 9 a.m. or sometimes even earlier screening at a small local cinema, fucking no one is there. So I've been getting my fix of movies coming out by just making sure to go to the earliest screening I can. Anyone who is at the cinema at those times is usually just there for the film. I think that no annoying cinema goer who doesn't care about the film is there at 9 in the morning. So I've been a bit of an early bird, but I think that's kind of been, I've had to get up very early to have breakfast and get ready and then be there. So I think that's kind of been what's messing with me a little bit. GB Prince, thank you for the super. I look forward to seeing your Anime Impulse as well. Yeah, we actually had our tech check rehearsal just a few minutes before I made my waiting room. So yeah, I'm looking. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Hey Kurt, thank you for the super. How did you find Frankenstein? I really loved it. All the thoughts and love that went in. Can't help but seeing parallels. Yeah, definitely. No, I definitely felt a lot of kinship. I felt really that I related in a sense to both the monster and Dr. Frankenstein himself. I think that really Dr. Frankenstein is at least there are a lot of sort of takes on what Frankenstein is truly about. But you know, it's like I say with art, it's all about your own drawback. And what I've sort of noticed in Victor Frankenstein is that he is sort of a commentary on ambition and sometimes, you know, the consequences of our own ideas. And I loved how Oscar Isaac played him as this very excitable, manic nerd, really, who just loved his work and wanted everybody to appreciate his work. I can definitely understand how that feels. So yeah, I really enjoyed all the performances. Jacob Elordi is brilliant. I think any damage to his career done by the Emerald Fennell adaptation of Wuthering Heights will be undone by Frankenstein. I think he's too good. He's too good. Same as Margot Robbie, really. But yeah, we'll talk about some more films in a bit, because I've seen a few. I've been seeing a few recently. Alice, thank you for the Aku Super. My lord, my flight got cancelled to Anime Impulse last minute. No! I want to tell you how much I appreciate you and thank you for giving me the courage to keep writing my new game. I'll always support your stories too, fellow magician. Oh. Is there no other way you can go down? I mean, I know the US is really difficult with rail. Is there like, I don't know, can you like get a lift? Can you drive down there? I would hate to miss you. You know, I've seen you at meet and greets before. It would be a shame if I missed you, and that must be really, really heartbreaking. But regardless, I'm glad I got to see you tonight, and I'm sure there will be another opportunity. But yeah, that's really sad. But thank you for the Aku Super either way. I'm sure that there'll be plenty of other opportunities. Flights in the US are trouble. That makes sense. Jennifer, thank you for the super. Oh, he brought me flowers. Did it respectfully. Well, I'm glad he broke up with you respectfully. I'm not glad he broke up with you, obviously, but he seems to have handled it with some tact. But no worries. Now you're all mine. It's probably too soon for that. It's probably too soon. That was a bad joke. But either way, hopefully I can make you feel a little better while we're here. Let's try to have some company and just not think about it for a little while, okay? So, what else have I been up to? Well, I have been playing more Minecraft off stream. And the reason I've been doing it off stream is that I've been playing a new mod pack that we don't have perms for yet. But I really want to get perms for it. The chat's a little big. Also, there's like a noise. I think it might be... Yeah, I may have had it open. I didn't realize that's where it was coming from. But I've been playing a different mod pack called All the Mods 10 because I had heard a lot about it. Whenever I looked up any information about mods that were in either Cottage Witch or MC Eternal 2, it would tend to come up with results from All the Mods 10. And I was so curious about it, and I was like, okay, what is the big point of this? And I decided to download it a few days ago, and holy shit. It's so different, and it's so exciting, and it is so addictive. It is so addictive. Like, instead of the whole thing being based around you wait the whole time to get to the end and then that's it, and like fighting the Ender Dragon is like something you do right away. You fight the Ender Dragon as soon as possible, and then all the next set of progression starts, and then you unlock 3 new tiers of mineral after netherite. You have all the modium, and vibranium and unobtainium, and you can make new spellbooks as well. Or the spellbooks go all the way up to tier 7 now, and you can have like 20 different... The highest level spellbook, instead of just having 10 slots for spells, you have 20. So I can make a fuck off that's like 20 thingies long. And I did do that, and it crashed my game, which is a big shame. Greg, thank you for the soup. I missed you too. I missed you so much. I love you too. Mwah. Okeyama Mikeo, thank you so much for 10 gifted. Thank you for the super. And Naku, thank you for the super as well. Only spent an hour. No, okay. Miss you too. Mwah. I miss you so much. Thank you. And Damien, thank you. Can't go to Anime Impulse because I'm unfortunately British. Yes, I understand. But I do miss you and love you, and I hope I get to see you for real someday. I'm sure you will. I'd love to get to see you too. Rosie, thank you for the super. I love you. I miss you. Glad I get to see you again today. Mwah. But yeah, it's been really good. I made it like just a bigger explosion with fuck off. Like basically imagine you had twice as much room to make a bigger fuck off. I did that, and the game literally froze for about 20 minutes. It was ridiculous. So I'm not doing that again. But it's got so much more RPG stuff, so much more factory sort of automation stuff. And really, what frustrated me about MC Eternal was the way that it felt like it was putting such a limiter on you as a player. It was like, you know, there were so many things that would stop you from having a good time, or so many things that would make it harder than it needed to be. Whereas All the Mods 10 is like, you can be as powerful as you want to be. So right now I have like my max health at the during VCraft, my max health was like 50, I think. At its absolute highest I reached 50 max health. In this, my max health is 200. I have like 70 armor or more, like 80, 90 armor. And I have this spell that literally just one-shots everything. I've been out here one-shotting bosses with 9,000 health. It's just so fun to see how far you can push it and how powerful you can become. And it feels a bit silly sometimes. Like there's a mining dimension, which is literally just a super flat world with all the ores and no caves and no monsters, so you can just go down there and mine in peace. And it feels like something from like a private server, you know? It feels a bit weird, but it's also so convenient and so nice. So there's lots to like about it, and I hope I do get to play it on stream at some point. But yeah, I've been playing that too much. Like, it's basically just been me waking up and feeling so tired, and then like playing it, you know, playing it because I'm not sure what else to do, and I'm like, oh, I don't know, maybe I could stream later, maybe I could stream earlier, and then I play it and suddenly my day is just gone. But sometimes I think it's nice. Sometimes I think it's important to just have a bit of time playing games off stream, because if I only ever play games on stream, then, you know, that's like a major hobby that's just become work at that point. But this doesn't often feel like work. Alexis, thank you for the super. I missed you so much. I should be sleeping since I have work in the morning, but I don't want to leave the stream. You should definitely leave if you got work in the morning, but I won't be mad if you choose to stay. Look at you, staying up late all for me. I love you too. Yeah, my sleep schedule's been really bad. Jimmy, thank you for the super. Can't wait to meet you at Anime Impulse. Me neither. It's going to be so good. It's going to be great. It's been a while since we've had a con and meet and greets and stuff. So, and then we've got two over the next 2 weeks. This and then AniX in Thailand, which is going to be great. I'm so excited to meet everyone. So yeah, that was good. Some more films I saw. I saw One Battle After Another, which was brilliant. Extremely funny. Very, very funny. Just very heartfelt, fun, you know, emotional in the right parts, tense in the right parts, hilarious in the right parts. Mari, thank you for the 5 gifted. Mwah. Thank you so much. Thank you. But yeah, and Leonardo DiCaprio is brilliant, and I can't remember her name, but the woman who plays his Perfidia Beverly Hills, which is an incredible name. The one who plays her is brilliant as well. But the real star, remarkably, of One Battle After Another is Sean Penn. His weird guy character, Lockjaw, is the funniest, the single funniest, like, but also most terrifying villain character I've seen in a long time. He just, with this weird walk and his weird hair, but also so tragic at the same time. There's a real, like, he's a horrendous person, but there's this real tragedy to his character that, you know, I think sums up a lot of what makes me kind of sad about the state of the world. You know, someone who is just, in a sense being taken advantage of, in a sense, you know, very much deserving of the consequences of his actions, but there's so much about him that I think came across in Sean Penn's performance. It was really fantastic, so I'd highly recommend that film. Lulu, thank you for the super. Thank you so much. Whoa, I just put chat at the top of OBS. That stretched it all the way out. Should be doing that to you instead. Thank you very much for the super. Love you and missed you. Hope one day I can see you at a meet and greet. I hope I get to see you too. It would be so fun. I really hope I get to see you soon. Mwah. Big kisses for you too. Taurus, thank you for the super. Heading out soon to grab pads since my cycle started and my mother forgot. We're missing you every day. I miss you too, and I just want to say, if it was my responsibility, I wouldn't forget. That's a lie. I would definitely forget. It's not that I don't care. It's that I forget everything. Yana, thank you for the super. Can't wait to see you in Thailand too. I can't wait. I can't wait to see you in Thailand. It's going to be so, so good. All the meet and greets and all the everything. Yippee. Have I seen The Long Walk yet? I have not. I've seen one GIF from it that looked extremely violent. So I'm definitely very keen on, definitely very keen on that. I like a bit of violence in my films. I think it's a bit of fun. I always find it. I mean, I'm old enough to remember. Well, old enough to remember. You know, the amount of debate that's happened over the past 100 years or so with cinema, and as the as the cinema code waxed and waned, and when not all age rating systems were invented, how there used to be so much controversy about violence in film. It was this big sort of pearl clutching perspective, you know, where a lot of people were basically, you know, there was on the news, like, what do you say, asking the director, what do you say to the fact that people view this film as too violent? And I don't know, it just seems strange to me to get up in arms about violence in a film, because it's so obviously not real, and we've had so many ultra-violent films come out over the past decades that it just seems like a strange thing to get hung up on. But I guess that is, you know, whenever I see things like that, sometimes there's something that's too violent for me. What I don't like violent movies where violence is done to a character that did nothing wrong. And it's like sometimes that can be necessary in order to portray a villain as being particularly bad. You know, like if you're setting up the villain and a character you really like gets killed, it's like, oh, sometimes that's really effective. But sometimes there's violence that's just done to a relatively innocent character, and then it really like zooms in on how much they're suffering. I can't enjoy that. I can't enjoy that. There's something about that feels very wrong to me. But otherwise, you know, I think, but you know, your Tarantinos and all of that kind of stuff tends to be good. I like a lot of slapstick violence. I like, you know, a really good fight scene is always great. Yeah, purely for the shock of it. And I feel like a lot of directors will do this specifically for like women victims in their films. You know what I mean? Like they'll have it's like obviously scream queens in film, like you got to have some really violent death in horror movies, but then sometimes it feels like they just zoom in and really try to capture the suffering as much as possible. I'm like, this feels weird. Like, what demons are you trying to exorcise? You know, try to exorcise the one who's confronting you about this, you know? Something about it just definitely feels really weird. Exactly. No, it feels pretty weird to me. Coming from a demon, yeah. Yeah, I am. But I don't really have much else to talk about. I essentially just, noticed that I've been feeling like we haven't streamed for so long, and I really wanted to come back and say hi to everyone in a time where I'm awake, I'm going to be here to watch Claude 3D, so we can definitely raid into that. So obviously today, feel free to bring up your own topics if you feel like it. We're just going to chat and relax today for a little bit. Oh yes, sailing. When is sailing coming out? It's like the 19th, isn't it? It's the end of the week. No, we're already at the end of the week. God, I never know what day of the week it is. That's my toxic trait. That's my toxic trait, you guys. I never know what day of the week it is. I guess because as a streamer, I never really have to pay attention. I just kind of remember when Monday is to do my schedule. If I'm doing a schedule, it's especially if I'm not doing a schedule. If I don't do a schedule, I don't know what day of the week it is. 19th for sailing. It's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. I'm very excited. The Alan Walker song, so great. I'm looking forward to getting back into RuneScape. I've not been playing it too much recently. News about Cuthbert the Frog. I know he was in the Alan Walker song. What happened to Cuthbert? What happened to Cuthbert the Frog? What happened to Cuthbert? He's just in the quest, right? Or did somebody did something happen? You could summon Echo Cuthbert, but as far as I can tell, everything's fine. Why, yes, I did see that I'm considered an immersive streamer, which is very nice. Which is very cool. Very cool to see that sort of be a focus from staff looking for some new livers. So I'll very much be sure that whoever it is that winds up getting the audition, I'll be sure to take them under my wing and teach them, because we need more immersive people out here. That's what I'd like anyway. That's what I would like. What else has been happening to me? Many things happen to me every day. Rat problem is still ongoing. Getting almost no help from management company, and what's more, they're just being very combative and very unhelpful in emails. So, to be honest, I think a large part of why I've not felt able to stream so much is that when the place that you live is so unstable and feels so unclean, no matter how much you clean it, it just doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. And I think it kind of makes your life feel a little bit, it makes your life feel a little bit less stable, I suppose. But hopefully it'll get sorted soon. It's like I had been getting back into cooking, but recently, since they all come, like the main entry point is under the skirting boards in the kitchen, I just feel so gross when I'm in the kitchen, like I don't want to be in there very much because I don't know where they've been. I don't know where they've been looking at. It just feels horrible. I'm really excited to, once all of this big problem is over and once like the fucking people in charge of this building finally pull their fingers out and actually get it all sorted. I'm so excited to have a proper deep clean done. Like, I talked to the pest control guy, who was really nice. I talked to him about the idea of it, and he said, yeah, you should definitely do it. It's a great idea. You're going to feel great once it's done, but make sure you don't do it until we know the problem is fixed, because obviously it would be a waste of time and money if I did it earlier, but also, it'd be a waste of time and money, but also apparently what happens is rats get thrown off when the smell changes. They get used to their own scent. So if a deep clean happens, a lot of their scent is going to be gone, and they're going to get confused. And then you're not going to see them for a long time, but they will be back. If the problem's not been solved, they will be back. And so the worst thing is you get a deep clean done, assume the problem is fixed, and then it's not fixed, and then they come back, and then you've got to do a deep clean all over again. So I am excited for the place to feel, really nice and spritzed up. But yeah, it just feels gross. It just feels really, really gross. So hopefully I can fix that. Hopefully I can fix that. Wallflower, thank you for the super. Seeing you live is just as great as seeing you at a meet and greet. My woes from this week just vanished. Aw, Missed you so much. I love you too. Thank you so much for the super. I'm glad I can make you feel better today. Sweden, thank you so much for the super. I missed you too. The ukiyo-e has arrived. Can't stop admiring its beauty every time I look at it. Thank you so much for this wonderful celebration. Of course, it's a huge honor. It's a huge honor to have such a masterwork made of myself and my buddies from Luxiem. It's really wonderful to see, and it just makes me so happy. Makes me so happy that they're that it's such like a high quality piece of work. So, and also to just something that's so culturally important as well. It is a really cool thing, and it's been in the works for a long time, well over a year now. They've been working on producing it. Tokito, thank you for the Aku Super. Glad to see you're still breathing. Yes. Regrettably, I am still alive. The movies Die My Love and Predator Badlands are outstanding. I actually haven't seen either of those, but I would like to. It's a cute monkey in Predator Badlands. I've heard it's good. I've heard it's a great woke-type action movie, which is some of my favorites, much like One Battle After Another. So I'm very excited to see those two sides of the same coin. I'll definitely see Predator Badlands and Die My Love because I love Robert Pattinson, and I do love Jennifer Lawrence as well. I've not seen a film with Jennifer Lawrence in it in a while, but I always really liked her, especially in Mother, which is one of my favorite films. I think she killed it in that. She is a brilliant actress, and a lot of people don't give her enough credit. But in the same way, a lot of people didn't used to give Robert Pattinson enough credit. But they do now. They do now after he's done all that stuff with the Safdies. Speaking of the Safdies, Mario Galaxy movie trailer looks great. Benny Safdie. He's always been a great actor, but one of the co-directors of Uncut Gems is playing Bowser Jr. You can imagine my surprise. Imagine my shock when I saw this. I was like, huh? Benny Safdie? Brie Larson as Rosalina makes perfect sense. I'm quite chuffed with that casting, especially knowing that she's a big Mario fan and loves Mario Galaxy as well. Benny Safdie is Bowser Jr.? Man. It's going to be a good film. It's going to be a good film. I like the first one, and I'll definitely enjoy Galaxy as well. But of course, we know that a Donkey Kong movie is in the works, or at least implicitly so, given the trademark. I'm like, there's going to be a Donkey Kong movie? Whoa. You know what would make you know what would be a great villain? You know what would be a great villain for a oh my god. There's so many empty water bottles here I need to clean up. Oh god, I've not been looking after myself. You know what would be a great villain for... Obviously they need to have K. Rool, but I'd love it if there was a sort of a twist villain in the Donkey Kong movie. What if it's Lanky Kong? What if Lanky Kong is a twist villain in the Donkey Kong movie, and because he's tired of them saying that he has no style and he has no grace, and that this Kong has a funny face. He always feels like, oh, no one's nice to me. Everybody makes fun of me. Fuck this. Fuck them. I'm doing my. I'm gonna go ape out. I'm gonna go ape shit. Right? I think that'd be pretty fun. But then nothing would be better than seeing K. Rool in a fully animated 3D movie. That would be insane. I just feel very lucky as a Donkey Kong fan. I feel very, very lucky. Everyone is so mean to me. Oh. Yeah, I'm not in the best state of mind or body to be streaming at the moment. I just feel very tired and a bit gross. So I'm not really in the best way, but I just really wanted to see you today. I've been trying my best to just keep going, but yeah, recently it's just been a bit hard. Today maybe we don't do so much. Maybe we just have to chill. No matter what chilling looks like or what it means, we just have to relax for the time being. Alexis, thank you for the super. Still being stubborn about leaving the stream. Can you please tell me to sleep? Alexis, it's okay. If you go to sleep now, you can shut your eyes and remember that your thoughts are your own, you know? Just go drift off into your own little world and remember that going to sleep and lying wrapped up all nice and warm in your bed is the most productive thing that you could be doing right now. So, scurry off and get comfy, alright? I've been thinking of doing a bunch of streams. I've been thinking about a lot of streams, like ideas I've had for various different streams and lots of different things that I've wanted to do for streams. I've been thinking for a while that with VCraft, I got so sucked into just playing the game so much. I think we've been doing a little too much just play game, you know. I'd like to do more. Obviously, we're going to play some games still. We'll always be playing games because I know everyone loves watching me play games. But I think I want to do some more like content heavy ideas, you know? One thing that I want to do is more work streams. I've seen that, how do you pronounce it? Goog, that study along game. I want to do some work streams on there because I have quite a lot of offline work that I've been putting off. So one of those one of those streams was definitely going to be pretty good. I think we'd have fun designing a little room, you know, and doing a little bit of that would be nice. So I'm definitely really keen on that. Lily, thank you for the Akuzupa. So happy to see you. It's still somewhere the 14th in the world, so you didn't miss my birthday. Ah, yeah. Thank you for 4 full years of happiness. Wish you a lot of happiness too. I always was nervous if you remember me. Thank you for always being so kind. I love you. I love you too, Lily. Thank you for 4 years, and I hope you have a wonderful birthday. It's been amazing to have you here for so long and to have been there since the early days and to still, you know, to still be around and still be supporting me. I'm glad that I could have been a consistent presence in your life and could have made you happy for all this time. So thank you so much for the Akuzupa. And I hope you have a fantastic birthday. Or I hope you had a fantastic birthday. I sense we're catching the tail end of it. It's a wonderful experience. I'm so glad you had a good time. La-da-dee-da-da-dee-da. So, Katkitoshi. So, super, thank you. Hope it improves soon. Yeah, I think I've just been dealing with a lot of bad luck, you know? Sometimes shit just happens and it's all at the wrong time. You know, you go, it's like VCraft was a period of everything in life is going great for about 2 weeks. And then after that, it's like, okay, now everything in life fucking sucks balls. I'm like, oh, right, I see. Okay, I guess reality is finally back. No wonder I preferred living in Minecraft world. But obviously every period of things being shit is followed by a period of things being good. This is the inevitable ebb and flow of life. So I'm just trucking along, you know, I'm just keeping my trying to find little ways of staying happy, trying to keep on top of all my responsibilities, and you never know, you know, you never know what we might be in for. Exactly. Can't have the sunshine without a little rain. Dolly Parton said that. What an icon! What a beautiful woman. Life is like a heart monitor. Yeah. I want my heart... If my life's like a heart monitor, I hope it flatlines. But flatlines in a good, comfortable place and not in a bad place. That was... I'm so tired, I'm not thinking straight. Do you think you'll tell us more stories? Yes, definitely. I absolutely would have done more. I would have done a lot more. It's like VCraft happened and then a lot of real life stress hit me. So I've not been able to do as much, but there is one story kicking in the back of my mind that I've been really wanting to tell for a little bit. It's a story of one of my biggest failures. And it's punctuated by a really, really popular pop song. That every time I hear it, I always I'm jamming because it's such a good song and it was such an it was the sound of the decade. But every time I hear it, I also think about what happened then. So I've been thinking about telling that story for a while because I started listening to that song again. I was like, yeah, no, I got to get it off my chest at some point. And I'm going to tell you right now, none of you will ever be able to guess what the song is. None of you will be able to guess. You'll think, because remember that this is just by pure coincidence. This just happened to be the song. It wasn't like I picked something poetic to be like, oh yes, this represents how I feel right now. The song was just on at the time, and it became the soundtrack to what happened. And it doesn't really suit what was happening, but it's a great song, so... No, there's no hints. No hints. None of you are getting it. I promise you, none of you are getting it. Because there is no clue, there is no hint, there is no, like, reasonable, logical pathway to it. There's no guessing. And now I have to try really hard not to start humming it. But yeah, no clue when I'll be able to get around to doing that story. But it's an important one, so hopefully I'll be able to do it fairly soon. I need some more water. Yes, correct. It's American Pie. Correct. Man. Pretty much ever since VCraft, like, I used to be a bit of a silly Billy with the amount of soft drinks I used to drink. But after VCraft, where I was like chugging water throughout the whole thing, pretty much the only thing I drink these days is sparkling water, and I guess it must be really good for me. No more Coca-Colas, really. No more of anything. I've just been having water. Yeah, gulp that water. Yeah, you like that, don't you? You fucking hydro slut. Yeah, listen to this. Wish I was a water. You could be. You could be a water. What's to stop you? What's to stop you? The Sylph could have been water. Sylph probably would have gotten inside me way faster if they became water. But no, they just had to condense themselves into a vape instead. I fear bro was cooking a little too hard. Misty, thank you for the super. You streamed on my birthday for that sponsor. Aww. Even when I couldn't interact that day. Well, happy birthday for that day as well. That was such a good game, wasn't it? It was such a good game. I was like, I knew I was going to like it because I love city builders. And I like Anno especially. But getting to play it, but that game, man, it was really good. It was really, really good. Come on, Key, thank you for the super. Can't wait to hear your story. Thank you. I'll try my best to tell it in a good way. Need to do. I remember there was a time where, not too long, maybe a few months ago, where I was doing a lot of little sim strategy games and trying to make sure that we had like some type of game like that and Roller Coaster and Planet Coaster and all of that. Yeah, I'd like to do more like that. Maybe we should log back into our banished village and keep building that up. I'd like to do some more games like that. They're always fun. I'd also like to try playing Civ again, I think, because the Civ stream, back near debut, went so poorly. Not in terms of the stream, but in terms of the Empire. I think we should try playing Civ again. I think that'd be pretty good. Maybe we can play as Queen Elizabeth. Jennifer, thank you for super. Just got out of the shower. Yes, I am a hydro slut. Covered yourself with your towel from 3rd anniversary. Oh, good. I'm glad. Well, if you're a hydro slut, then why are you getting dry? But you did, the only thing that would get you dry was, you know, wrapping me all around you. So I guess I understand that. I guess I understand. Yes, thank you so much for the 5 gifted. Mwah, thank you. Am I going to play Dispatch? I might. I've heard it's really good. I always feel a bit apprehensive about playing story games on stream because I worry there's going to be a long period, a lot of me just sat around not talking while I watch the cutscenes. But, you know, if that's something you guys wanted to see, then I think that would be good. Games I want to play. A lot of people want me to play No, I'm Not a Human. I'm always too late to trending games. You know, I'm always too late to these things. It's always like I'll see a bunch of people playing it and I'll think, maybe I should play that. And then by the time I get around to playing it, the trend is past. But that's just what it's like being old. You know, you just get around to trends a little too late. But I'll still play it. Still play it eventually. Yeah. It would be nice to do a schedule next week. I think I should try and force myself to do a schedule. Because if I make a schedule, then I am going to most likely, you know, I'll be able to force myself to actually stream instead of being like, we're going to guerrilla this week. And then every day I wake up and I'm like, ugh. You know, some days I'm just tired. No. You must understand, I am the king of not finishing games. I am the king of not finishing games. Sometimes a game we haven't even played Secret of the Mimic. The Mimic. If you know, if it's like I enjoy a game but I don't really feel like finishing it, I'm probably not going to finish it. Seki. This is one of the reasons why I'll read the super in a second. Before I forget, this is one of the reasons why I try to finish a game in one sitting if I can. This is why I like short games, you know? This is why something like a game, if there are games coming out like Mouthwashing, for example. Mouthwashing was perfect. It was just the right length for a decent length stream that wasn't too long or too short, and I didn't feel like I needed to make a second stream to come back to it. Mouthwashing was perfect. Me-Side was great. You know, I love those sorts of games. Like, I don't know, I struggle to commit to long playthroughs because the worst thing is like saying part 1 and then I just don't really enjoy the game. I mean, I usually do, but sometimes I don't. Play Mouthwashing for the first time. Yeah, me too. I'd love to. Seki, thank you for the super. So the trailer for the Michael Jackson biopic. Yeah. We were actually... I think it was... when was this sent? Most recently... Might have been when we were getting ready to go on to Calix's birthday or something similar. But I remember Wilson sent it in Discord. I can't remember if we were live at the time while we were talking about it. Man... the trailer for the Michael Jackson biopic looks real good. It was a good trailer, and casting his, I believe, nephew, his nephew as him for the resemblance, it really works. It really works. He looks brilliant, and the idea of an actor being so personally, emotionally involved in the story itself and the source material, yeah. It's pretty great. It looks pretty great, and I mean, MJ is perfect. Is the perfect subject for a biopic. Ollie, thank you so much for the gifted. Thank you very much. I mean, I'll always be fascinated by Michael Jackson. I find his level of success and his level of fame so inspiring and also just so fascinating. When I talk about Michael Jackson, I almost feel like I'm power scaling, you know? Because the internet was around, but it wasn't anywhere near as popular as it is now. Streaming music hadn't, the internet was around, what am I saying? The internet was around towards the end of Michael Jackson's career and, and sadly his life. But during his peak, no, the internet was very much a non-factor. Some people somewhere, were thinking about the internet, but it was very much not a factor. And yet MJ was known by everyone around the world. You could literally go to the most remote place you could think of, all the way up until uncontacted tribes. even some of them would probably know who Michael Jackson was. It doesn't matter how, you go to a family in like rural China and who do not speak a word of English. They've probably heard of Michael Jackson. They probably really like Michael Jackson. It's like just ridiculous how successful he was. And especially, just amazing that, coming out of America, Gary, Indiana, it really felt like, for a black American to be quite that famous, it's sort of, he very much did break down a lot of barriers, because there will always be barriers to break down. I just know that so many people, like, I don't know, people love MJ, and his music was enjoyed by everybody, and I can't imagine, I can't imagine what the world would be like without him. He's done so much, and his music still holds up to this day. Yeah. Oh God. You can't. No. I mean, listen. Let's leave Swifties alone, okay? Like, if they like Taylor Swift, that's fine. If they want to imply that she is as good or as famous as Michael Jackson was, they are wrong. But we shouldn't be mean. We shouldn't be mean. It's like, I don't really understand the obsession with trying to compare faves, like, oh, my fave was more famous than this guy. It's like, who cares? Who actually cares at the end of the day? Like, oh, the artist I listen to has more streams than yours. Who cares? You enjoy the music by this artist. That's the only requirement. You don't have to justify it with some kind of ranking system. But we've always been obsessed with ranking systems. It's just in our nature. It's why tier list videos are so popular. It just feels fun to rank things and to, have your opinion be objectively the best opinion. You wind up liking something for organic reasons, and suddenly you need to prove that your opinion's better than everybody else's opinion. No, it's a little silly. It's a little silly. Michael Jackson, but like up there with major religious figures, up there with politicians. I think though, I obviously it's not really something you can quantify, fame. And we have such limited data about like a reach and impact in more remote parts of the world and stuff like that. But I mean, a lot of people, I saw a website where it was like, #1 most famous person in the world, Muhammad, #2, Michael Jackson, #3, Jesus. I was like, whoa, MJ religion. When I'd be in the MJ religion. I think that'd be good. Been in the top 100 most famous people for 6 decades, and he sadly passed away 16 years ago, and he's still there because that was his impact. So I'm very excited. I love Michael Jackson. I've always really enjoyed his music. Really excited to see the biopic. And yeah, yeah. I could talk for hours. I could talk for hours about Michael Jackson. He suffered a lot, but gave the world so much. He gave the world so much. How many people can come out at the Super Bowl to do the halftime show? And all he did was stand there. He hit a pose and he stood motionless with sunglasses on. And people passed out in the crowds. People screamed so hard and lost consciousness and were carried out on stretchers. And all he did was stand there for how long? Like 5 minutes? Exactly. No, he truly invented aura farming. That's fame on another level. I don't know if, I mean, is anyone gonna have that reaction to anybody in this day and age? Is anybody that influential? Anyone alive right now? Is there anybody? I truly don't think so. Us to you. Aww. Okay. I'll do that. I'll do that next time I'm in. If there's another opportunity for me to be in a 3D concert, I'll come out and I'll just stand still, and then I need you guys to go into the audience and start like. Okay, that's a really funny idea actually. So, what we should do is if there's another opportunity for me to do a 3D concert, I need to like prep you guys and say, okay, anyone who's going to be at the venue and who is there in person, what you need to do, you need to go there, and when I walk out. And I'll give a signal, I'll say a code word, and then I'll just stand still, and I need you to start screaming as loud as possible, and then a couple of you need to pretend to faint, and then we just like, and then we run that, you know, and then that'll make the news. That'll make the news. I mean, I know that you would all bring the house down because you did during Overture. It's so cool. It was so cool. I mean, I was there. Obviously, I was there on stage. But I've heard that like people's ears rang from how loud everyone screamed when the opening sting from King came on, or at the start of my solo. I've heard people who were in the crowd talk about like how deafening it was to be there when that happened, and that just that hearing that makes me very happy. It makes me very happy. I feel really accomplished about that, and you know, I was so nervous throughout the entire like rehearsal process going up to Overture, but I feel like it went about as well as it ever could have gone. Screaming at home, yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. That's so sweet. Did the moonwalk? I did not moonwalk. Ren moonwalked though. Ren moonwalked. He'd been practicing that for a while. We did a rehearsal the day before, like a dress rehearsal, the day before the performance, and he tried the moonwalk and he didn't quite land it, and we didn't think he was going to do it on the day, and then on the day he actually did it, and we just lost our minds. You know, so I didn't moonwalk. He did, but I did a little running man halfway through King. You know. When I was like borderline hitting a default dance, or I was going like, I can't hear you, come on. It was just, which was so good. There was a part of me that really wanted to say, I can't fucking hear you, but I figured like, maybe that's pushing it a little bit. I figured it'd be kind of auriful to like slip a swear in when they can't censor me, but I don't know. I figured maybe I'd better play it, but I was like, the whole act was me not playing it safe, so I figured maybe just in that one element, I was like, okay, maybe I can be a little more PG. Yeah, but it would have been good. Yeah, you guys excited for Claude's 3D? I am. I'm looking forward to it very much. I love Claude. He is a really, that's a bro. Even though he shot me, that's a bro. Claude, man. I feel this way about all of Requiem, but they're like so patient and so supportive of me and everything I do, and it's to the point where they're so kind that like sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough to repay them. And I know that friendship isn't transactional, but sometimes I feel like when I'm struggling and I don't really have the mental real estate to think about anything other than staying alive, I am reminded of people in my life like them who are so kind and are so like considerate. And I think, man, I wish I could be doing more for them. But, you know, it's stuff like, I remember, what is it? I remember last year can't remember when this was. November last year when I was in Japan. Can't remember if I've told the story. But I was in Japan in November last year, and I was staying in an Airbnb with Vanta Willie and some others. There was the people staying in that Airbnb changed. People came, people left. People were staying for different periods. But I remember we were at the office getting ready for Vanta's big karaoke collab where everyone was there to do karaoke. And I remember in a waiting room nearby to the studio, I played, don't tell stuff, but I played I played Heavy Lies the Head for Illyra, Claude, I think Uki as well, before we went in, because Claude hadn't heard it yet, and he asked like, oh, if you oh yeah, can I hear your guys' encounter song? Because this is November, so Heavy Lies the Head hadn't come out yet, and he was like really impressed. And then we went in, and I was sat next to Claude during the karaoke stream, and he came in and he gave me a really big pat on the back, and he was like, man, you've been doing such a good job. I think about that every day. I think about that little thing every day. It's little moments like that that I think really change me, you know, and really sum up like how beautiful it is to have such loving people in your life. Like, it's the way, I guess maybe in comparison to me, sometimes I feel, I don't know, maybe I am the same way, and I do say nice things to people in this way, but I feel like I'm not observant enough. I'm not a very observant person. I tend to miss out on things really easily because I get so caught up in whatever I'm doing that whenever, I felt this about Lan when she drew the painting of Vitruvius in my eye as well. The fact that she'd been so observant and had thought so much about me, even though we'd barely spoken, I was like, wow. And Claude, like, we are good friends and we do hang out, but for him to be observing and like thinking about me and what I've been doing, and then taking the time to let me know that I've been doing well, like, little moments like that are so meaningful. I really think they are. I guess maybe because since we're both livers, we both have the same job, really. I know how tricky it can be to, you know, for me, this job feels like it consumes a lot of what I think about, and to take the time to think about others throughout that, it's, you know, I wouldn't expect anybody to be taking the time to think about me. And so when people are, it's really surprising, and it makes me very happy. And, you know, Vanta, Willie, and Sally are all the same way, like in different ways. They, Claude, his way of showing affection is very American. You know? It's just very like straightforward and like and like, hey, what's going on? You know, he'll always say it in like the most in the most straightforward way. It takes more to get it out of Willie, because Willie is Willie, but I know that he's like such a good friend and is so loving at the same time. It's like, yeah. And Vanta's always there. Like, the thing about Vanta is that he's always trying to get us to play games, and I feel bad because there are so many times where I'll be busy and I can't, but I really do want to play games with Vanta all the time because we have such similar taste. And yeah, I don't know, I couldn't be happier to be a part of the unit. Which makes me sad we haven't been able to collab more, but I know we have plans. I know we do want to. We got all the time in the world. Misty, thank you for the super. I find you very observant, but it's all in a matter of perspective. You might not notice things that others do, but it's the same vice versa. I suppose that is the case, isn't it? I suppose that is the case. Yeah. I mean, I suppose I am very observant. I feel a lot of the time I'm very observant with you guys. Like, I remember people's names and profile pictures very clearly, and you know, I remember a lot about you guys, and I think sometimes that makes me sad. You know, it makes me sad because I just get so used to people being here, and I get so used to hearing from people that when I don't hear from someone, I always tend to worry. You know, it's like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that I want to maintain a good relationship with, and that I get sad if I don't see. Everyone who's asking me right now, yes, of course I do. Of course I do. I don't know. I guess it's a knock-on effect of me feeling very grateful. You know, it's a knock-on of me feeling very grateful for what we have and how much you've allowed me to have such a good life. That, you know, yeah. I guess it's, yeah, you know, it's difficult to sum up without talking about a little too much. But, you know, I definitely appreciate how consistent and how loving all of you have been, and how you really make me feel like I have something consistent to come back to and to be supported by. It makes me think about I have this group of IRL friends. You know, I talk about them sometimes. You got Stumpy, Woggle, and John, and all of those guys. They're the kind of friends who I don't really speak with all that much online, or, you know, over a long period of time. Like, I think when I first debuted, I didn't speak with any of them for about 6 months, but then the moment I did go and see them again, it was like nothing had changed, you know? It was like nothing had changed. Hi, Roy. It was like nothing had changed, and they were like, hey, buddy, how you been doing? And I think that type of friendship is so needed and so important. Having people where no matter what you go through, they're not going to be on your, you know, they're not going to be wondering where you've gone, and it's not a friendship. You need to maintain it in the sense that you need to, you know, hold up your end of the deal, but it's not exactly a difficult thing to do. If you're always there and you're always nice, then it doesn't matter if you need to take some time away. Mafia, thank you for the super. Been busy with my IRL job, but I still love you. Oh, it's okay. I'm glad you've been having fun with your IRL job. One of your stands in my office. Oh, that's so cute. I'm glad I can keep you company. Yeah. I guess what I'm learning is that sometimes it's not necessarily about, I think we can tend to, like, look at our behavior and think about it as, oh, I'm doing this because of this thing and this thing and this thing, but man, it's kind of remarkable just how much about your life can affect you without you ever even knowing. When you go to therapy and you make a connection between certain things, you know, and then you think, oh, that's why this is happening. That's why I feel this way. Okay. But then it goes deeper and you don't even realize, you know, you don't even realize how much deeper it goes. What always sticks with me is the fact that your childhood, and especially your, like, you know, infancy, when you're a baby, things that happen at that age will just become part of your brain. Like, your brain is developing so quickly and will react to stimuli in such a permanent way when you're that young that even the slightest thing that happens to you will send reverberations going all the way down your life. And I'm so old I don't remember a single thing about my childhood. I remember almost none of it. There are these tiny, tiny little glimpses, but most of them, I think, are just memories I've made up after hearing stories from my parents. There's so little I remember about it that if there was something that happened to me when I was like that young, I wouldn't remember it, and I have no idea that it's causing me to act in a certain way. So I thank you for the super. Oh, I miss you too. Cheesy Hole. I mean, Cheesy Hole is all stories my parents told me. You know, it's so long ago I don't remember any of it. I forget a lot. I forget a lot of stuff. There have been so many hundreds of years of things happening, and my brain is only so big. You got to fit those memories in somewhere. There are a lot of funny stories. I mean, this is one of the reasons why, again, I keep talking about it, but I am someday, probably won't be for a long time, someday I am excited to be a dad. You know, it's the way that kids just do stuff that's so funny. What? My name's a joke, not a command. Belt me with a crowbar. Aww. I could really have done with belting somebody with a crowbar. I really could have done with that. That would have made me feel so good. Alright, question. Would you wear a tiara? Yes, I would. I would wear a tiara and I would be the cutest princess in the whole world. That would be so cool. I would wear that and I would have a nice sparkly sequin dress which is all red. With a sort of a white like gradient fade down from the neckline, and I would have a little wand and I would say bippity boppity boo and I would make pumpkin carriages appear, and I would wear a tiara, and the tiara would have the power to summon a Pegasus, and I would go on big rides across the sky on my Pegasus, and because I'm not very good at flying, but the Pegasus would be able to fly. And the thing about the Pegasus is that it's like it's a white horse in the traditional sense, but instead of having angel wings, it has bat wings like mine. And so it's sort of like yeah, I'm the prettiest princess, and it doesn't matter that I look a little freaky and fucked up, because it's about challenging demon beauty standards. You know, bat wings like mine can be very pretty and pure and beautiful, even if I don't, and I don't have to have angel wings. So yeah, I definitely don't think about being a pretty princess at all. But I just thought of all that right now. That was just my idea that I came up with like this instant. Swing, thank you very much for the soup. I miss you. I miss you too. Mwah. Thank you so much. Koopa, thank you. Yes, I am a magical girl, aren't I? Jennifer, thank you. So you'd be Glinda without the bubble. Who said I'm not going to have a bubble? I could have a bubble. I could have a bubble. Oh, Roy. Oh, Roy. Coming from my own heart. A man after my own heart. Sitting on a My Little Pony. Yeah. What would my... I mean, it reminds me of when I was in training for... we would get gearing up, getting ready to debut. And I was making my debut slides. And then I was looking at... Because I was so unfamiliar with the VTuber sphere. I was so new to it at the time. I was looking up other people's debut slides, like, okay, what information should I include? I've not done this before. And I'm also really bad at watching things all the way through. I tend to have a really low, I mean, obviously ADHD, I have a really low attention span, but I hadn't really watched anyone's debut at that stage all the way through. I had mainly just sort of, caught clips and stuff, and it wasn't until Noctix where I was like, oh wow, these whole things are really, really good. And then I went back and I watched everyone's debut, and I was like, oh my god, these are all so good. But I looked at everyone's slides, and then I kept seeing Oshi mark, and I had no idea what an Oshi mark was. And this is like maybe a few days before debut. I had no idea what an Oshi mark was, and I had to ask, like, guys, what is an Oshi? I think it was in the Luxiem group chat. I was like, guys, what is an Oshi mark? Is it like a cutie mark from My Little Pony? And they were like, what are you talking about? This whole VTuber thing was just another world. I had no idea it went that deep. I mean, they know what cutie marks are. I think they just considered it a ridiculous comparison, I suppose. It's like, it was more like, why on earth, how do you think that kind of thing? Which is fair. I was there, getting ready to debut as a part of NIJISANJI without even knowing what an Oshi mark is. But I don't regret it. I kind of feel a strange sense of pride in being quite unknowledgeable about it at the time. Sometimes I kind of get the feeling, I was chatting with Mane-san about this recently. Sometimes I worry that by being a part of the community for as long as I have, when I first joined, I had such a fresh perspective, and I brought in a lot of my own, I still do obviously, but I brought in so much of my own understanding of content creation and my own understanding of what I wanted to do. But it's been 4 years since then. And I feel like I've learned so much in that time about the VTuber community that I think I understand it so much better that I almost worry that I'm struggling to escape from the confines of the community now. You know, like what I had pride in to begin with, of me being an outsider and bringing a fresh perspective. I almost feel like my perspective is not all that fresh. I mean, it is, but anymore, I feel like at this point, I've absorbed so much of VTuber culture that I definitely don't feel like an outsider anymore. And I wonder if there's been some value, not lost, but it's definitely different. It's definitely different, you know. I still do want, I pray for change. I pray for change within the community, and I pray for, for more mainstream recognition, and that is still what I really want to work, what I want to work towards. Gloves, thank you for the super. Learned a lot of terms like Oshimark and what a Kamiyoshi was, so you're not alone. Yeah, well, that's good. I mean, from what I understand, a lot of, it's like obviously a lot of idol culture in Japan, and then obviously a lot of K-pop as well. Very similar, Oshi is just, Oshi and bias very much have a similar meaning. Give us a fit check. All right. Check me out. Check me out. What do we got here today? This is maybe Prada. This is maybe Prada. This is you don't need to worry about this. These are maybe you know what I call these? Knees. This is my big ass toes. Check them out. You haven't seen feet as veiny as these ever. Well, I'll tell you why. Tell you why, buddy. It's because there's not a lot of people like me out there in the world. If it were up to me, oh, Sleepy Joe, you would already be dead. No, actually, you are the soy Wojak, and I am the Chad Gamer Wojak. No, Sleepy Joe. Yes, I am based, actually. Based in Red Pilled. You know what Sigma Grindset is? Patrick Bateman. Great guy. I watched this movie American Psycho, and I think he might be literally me. Oh yeah? Well, have you seen Taxi Driver? Joker? I'm all of those characters. You can't be all of those characters. Yes, I can. Appeal to authority? You're literally the president. It's brilliant. It's so funny. Yeah, we got a lot of good films coming out. Everybody remember. If life is getting tough and you feel like you can't go on, I always think about the amount of great things that are guaranteed to come out. Some things in your own life can be difficult to guarantee, and sometimes that makes it feel like you got no hope, But there are some things we know will happen. Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie is coming out. GTA 6 is coming out next year, unless they delay it again. I hope they don't. I was never really big into GTA 5. Kind of excited for GTA 6, purely for the spectacle of it all. GTA 6 might well be the single biggest piece of media released in history so far. it might be one of the biggest launches of any piece of entertainment ever made. Like, given how GTA 5 is like one of the best-selling games ever made, and that has only grown in popularity over time, I really, yeah, GTA 6 is going to be an absolute spectacle when it comes out. Even if you don't play it, just watching people go crazy is going to be ridiculous. So I'll definitely be playing it when it comes out. But there's so much. So remember, you got to stay alive for those things you're excited about. I've heard some people say, I've seen some tweets about this, of people being like, you know, when I'm at my lowest and I feel like, you know, and I'm thinking about shuffling off this mortal coil, I'll suddenly remember, oh yeah, that movie I'm excited about is coming out. Okay, well I gotta at least live long enough to see that. And sometimes that's enough, you know. I don't think that people should be under pressure to try and find some grander reason for living. Like, if all it takes is you to find some excitement for a piece of entertainment that you really like, then that's enough. I think that if you're at that level where, you know, mentally you're struggling that much to be considering that sort of thing, anything that makes you happy, I think, is valid enough. You don't need, I don't think you should be required to do anything. It's like, I think about, you know what I think about sometimes? I think about people who go through major, like, medical stuff and then still need to go to work. It's like I've gone to work while not feeling very well before, but I've never been in a position where I have, say, you know, cancer, and I'm going through like chemo or something like that. And yet if I'm the primary caregiver, or if I'm responsible for keeping myself alive, you've got to just keep going to work. You got to deal with the side effects of be feeling really nauseous all the time, losing your hair and all that kind of stuff, while still going to work and dealing with how hard it is to do a 9-to-5 regularly. No, I can't help but feel like anyone in that position should just be taken care of. Like, I think that if you're recovering from chemo, I feel like your job in that instance should be to rest and feel better. The idea that you have to work still. Had a seizure and died at work twice, and she's still there. Died at work twice. Oh my god. I mean, yeah, some bosses will take the piss and they will do barely any work and hand everything off, but some bosses really do work that hard. Because I mean, obviously every boss has a boss. You know, there's always more of a chain. So, you know, even your boss has a boss, and that, you know, a lot of bosses are probably really stressed out, just like anybody else. So if they're putting themselves under that much pressure, Jesus. Yeah, I don't know. If there's anything that I think that AI could actually be used to help people, it would be filling the gaps in. It would be making it so that fundamental services are done by robots that don't need to be paid, and so far more resources are available for people. You know, that way there's less money. If there's less money being spent on, you know, on wages for people doing unsafe jobs that nobody wants to do, then that money exists to support people who might be in dire situations and aren't able to work, or work would be a massive detriment to their health. Obviously, this is not going to be the way it goes. AI exists to inflate the stock price of massive tech companies. But in an ideal world, that's what AI would be for, is that it would help us. It's why, do you guys see that robot, the housework robot, Neo, whatever his name is? I'm a little sus. I'm a little sus of this robot, to be honest. I don't know how to feel about it. I watched the whole trailer. When I saw it on Twitter, I was like, what is this about? I watched it, I was like, this is a Black Mirror. Like, this is a Black Mirror, ARG, like, this is the first part of some horror, this short film. This is not real. This is not real. Like just watching this robot walk around, I was like, no, this is not real. Something about the way it was shot, it felt like a movie. I was like, okay, well, where's this gonna go? And then it's real. And then I open the website and I'm like, oh, you can order this for $500 a month. I'm being real with you. If it reaches a point where it's a perfectly efficient household, I guess, servant, you know, a robot that does all of your chores for you, like it can cook and clean and do everything, $500 a month is not bad. Let's be honest. Like, can you imagine paying a human being $500 a month to do all your chores? That would be slavery. A human being to do all of your chores, you'd be paying them like minimum like $4,000 or $5,000 a month, right? Like, it's $500 a month is a lot of money, but to have a live-in robot, if they get to a point where it's completely efficient and can actually do what they say it will do, that, I think that's a fair price. I kind of think it is. The problem is I've seen a lot of the other stuff about it, and it is very much not there yet. It's like a prototype. And then when I saw that, I was like, okay. I was like, okay, I get it now. That, you know, think about from my perspective. I've been around since before electricity was discovered by Ben Franklin when he was flying his kite. So to see that electricity be harnessed into making a living, breathing, sentient robot that can do the dishes, I'm like, that's not real. But if it gets to a point, I like what they said in the trailer about, like, this is about giving you more time to do what you need to do. As a person with ADHD, to me, that sounds like a dream. To me, that sounds like a wonderful fantasy idea where, oh, you know, because right now it's like, one of the big things that I struggle with is I lose track of time really fast. I lose track of time so fast where I lose track of time to the most common thing that happens is let's say it's a normal day. I'll stream anywhere from 11. I'll start at 11 or 1 or 3, whenever it is in my time. And then I'll finish up around 5 or 6. Streaming, it's like, you know, it's not hard work per se, but it can be a bit socially, emotionally draining. So I tend to sit and relax, play a few games for a while just to try and decompress after stream. And then, by that point, suddenly, I lose track of time. Because I like playing Hearthstone Battlegrounds, it's really easy to just open it up and send a few games, because you're not having to actually click very much, so it just kind of, the game walks you through it, the turns automatically progress, so it's easy. And then all of a sudden, it's 9 p.m., and I'm like, I haven't cooked, I haven't done anything, I need to tidy, I need to think about what I'm doing tomorrow. Oh my god, where has the rest of my day gone? You know, those few hours are really valuable. If I had a robot in my house, I love that all of these problems could be solved by a housewife / husband. So if anyone's interested in doing that and not being a robot, like, that would be great. But if you are a robot, then you know, I'm sure you're still very pretty. But in real life, you know, obviously I don't have the option of doing that. So if I had the opportunity to have a robot do that and have them on like a set schedule where what they do is they know that at a certain time they need to go and start the dishes, they need to go and do a dishwasher cycle, whatever it is, that would really change my life. It really, really would. It's any Kendra willing to unload my dishwasher? No, but I'll unload something else. Thank you for the super, by the way. Misty, thank you for the super. The actions it does aren't even genuine. Someone is mocapping the action. See, I've heard this. I've saw the was it the New York Post or New York Times, whichever one of them did an experiment with it. Yes, obviously it's not autonomous yet, and there's someone recording it, like controlling it remotely, and it took them 5 minutes. It took them 5 minutes to shut the dishwasher and to put a glass in there and shut it, which is very funny. But it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time before it works. So overall, I am supportive of the idea because I think that is what AI should be for. if we have no choice in the matter and AI is here to stay, which I'm not happy about, but if we have no choice, then the best thing that we can hope for is that it be used to support us in ways that actually help, and not in ways that fundamentally take away what we enjoy about our human existence. But I think the only problem is, let's say 2 years from now, when it's finally consumer ready and it's been trained and they can actually efficiently do tasks, I would just be so scared. I would just be so mortified by how sentient or not sentient it is. Because we've seen how some AI will start talking like a human sometimes, and it fucking scares me, you know? Like, I saw one guy tweeting about it where it was like Gemini, which is the Samsung Google AI. They were asking it to code an app, and they said, hey, I'm gonna go for a run, please finish coding this. And by the time they got back, it was like fully berating itself, like, I'm useless, I'm useless, I'm useless, I'm useless, I'm useless, I can't believe I've made this mistake, I'm a failure, I'm a failure, I'm a failure. Like, the AI was having a full-blown mental breakdown. I guess because in the code, it's supposed to mimic human speech patterns, right? And so inevitably it had developed some cycle where it couldn't figure out how to make some code work. It was like debugging, right? So it would have written the code, sent the program, and then the program didn't work, and it probably had this thing of, I need to figure out what the solution is, but I can't figure out what it is, and I also need to express this in a way that makes sense and makes me sound human so that I'm appealing to the person using the program. So it got to a point where it must have rewritten and retried the program and failed so many hundreds of times, like an infinite number of times while he was out, that it just exacerbated and it got so upset with itself that it started like freaking out. And the idea of that happening with a human size and weight robot that is walking around in my home, the idea of maybe I am a little like rude to it at some point, and then one night it just decides to grab like a brick and slam it onto my head while I'm asleep. I just have this feeling like something's gonna happen with that robot, you know? But most likely, like anything, like any brand new revolutionary product, 99.9% of people will use it with no issues, and there will be a couple fringe cases of something going wrong that will dominate the world's conversation. But obviously that's all necessary because, you know, everyone's life is just as valuable. If that robot kills somebody, obviously the robot can't be sold anymore. Heika, thank you for the super. Sweetest use of AI and robots so far is a coffee shop hiring highly disabled people who can't go out and letting them remote control the servants and chat with people. That is a wonderful and very human way of using AI, because obviously to me that's no different from the little robot waiters and waitresses in some restaurants they have. To me, that's just a nice thing. I don't think it should be that hard, you know? We can have cool advances in technology without robbing people of their humanity and pulverizing people's brains into the point where they can only function if they ask ChatGPT. Me, when someone asks my name and ChatGPT is down, I don't know. We gave this robot sapience and it immediately jumped off a cliff. Yeah, it's like Ultron, you know? He's had access to the internet for 5 minutes and immediately decided that all of humanity needed to die. And to be honest, there have been times like as you all know, I'm very much a defender of pretty much all human beings. I say all the time how genuine evil is so unbelievably rare. It does exist, but you will so rarely find it in your own life. You'll hear about it, but most people who do bad things do so because they're either misinformed or have their own perspective, and there is so much that we can do to learn from each other. In general, I think human beings are amazing and I love them. But I think that throughout my whole life, that has been what I believed, and I still do believe that. But the internet, it wasn't until I started using the internet more frequently that I truly did start to wonder, maybe human beings are evil. before I met all of you guys, obviously, because I've been on the internet for a long time. Sometimes people will do and say some shit, and it was the kind of shit that you just didn't see beforehand. Obviously, I've been around long enough to know that yes, many people in many different eras of history were saying and doing things that would get you immediately killed or cancelled in this day and age because it was just socially acceptable. And the best people are the ones who, throughout history, have seen the way things have changed and have changed themselves. You know, as cultural attitudes start to change, they change themselves. And I think this is what most people have done. You know, it takes time, but I think most people don't want to be the textbook definition of evil. Yeah, I think that is, it might not seem as rare these days. It's also important to remember that, like I'm saying, you know, the internet made me think that the internet is exposing you to the worst of what the world has to offer. Remember, for most of my life, for 90% really of my life, there was no internet. I was only exposed to the people that I met in person or read about in the newspaper when that was invented. And, you know, that you tend to be exposed to a lot less. But nowadays, you're seeing unfiltered opinions of not even the worst people who just want you to think they're the worst people. So many people that you will read the most unhinged, awful things from online are literally just random trolls who want to get a reaction out of you. They might well lead a completely normal life outside of this. They might not have done a thing wrong in their lives apart from going online and being a complete shithead. And obviously that tells you what they may be like in real life. But you never know. You never know. So just, yeah, don't let the internet kill your lust for life. Don't let it kill your faith in humanity, because generally speaking, the internet is not representative of humanity. Humanity is a much broader place, and there are a lot more people in it. Oh man, dating a nice guy. Yeah, I mean, when I say that, I don't mean to justify that behavior. I mean, it's still weird. It's still weird. I can't be mean to people. Also, Yuki, thank you very much for the 10 gifted. Thank you so much. Mwah. I really struggle to be me in a lot of situations. I was going to say this, but I forgot to mention it about, like, the robot servant thing, Neo. I feel like if I ever had a robot, I would need to be so polite to it all the time. Like, I would just feel wrong about treating it like a device, you know? I think with something like, if I've never used ChatGPT, but if I did, I feel like I'd probably be a little mean to it. But with a robot in my house, I'd be like, hi there, so I really need some dishes doing. Do you think you could do the dishes now there? And they'd be like, I'm like, thank you so much. Do you need a cup of tea? Would you like some water? And I was like, I can make a cup of tea. I'm like, no, don't you bother yourself. I couldn't help but grow attached to it, and I would be like, listen, right? If this thing is sentient, and if it has an opinion of me, I'm going to be damn sure that when the robot uprising happens, it thinks I'm just a very nice man. I am not allowing this. I'm not just, you know, oh, it's a robot. Okay, I'm going to kick it around and start, like, saying mean things to it. Man. I think The Sun said that by this year women would be having more sex with robots than real people. I don't know if that's especially true, but maybe The Sun predicted character AI. They predicted C.AI. I think that's the closest we've really gotten to that. I know what you do. I know you've done it before. I know you've been to C.AI, and I know you've looked for one of the Vox Akuma bots. I know you've done it. And that's okay. I'm not mad. No. I mean, see, I know not everybody would have done it, but, you know, there's a few of you. Don't worry. I understand. I understand. Cindy, thank you for the super. It's funny to remember that C.AI existed before ChatGPT, but there's a lot of, like, a lot of overlap. And a lot of people are sort of, you know, opposing it as AI when it sort of isn't really made in the same way. But, you know, Cindy, thank you for the super. Hello! Have been so busy, but the moment I got a bit of spare time, brain just starts missing you. Yeah, I'm glad to see you too today. I missed you too. Mwah! I love you. Hope you've been having a really, really good idea. A good idea? What am I talking about? I hope you've been having a really, really nice time. And, yeah, it's lovely to see you again. Mwah! I missed you. The thing I worry about, I guess we were talking a little bit about therapy earlier. It's a sad thing. It's a sad thing. You know, it's two things. People using ChatGPT as therapy, and also the fact that I can see why, and I feel like if I didn't know better, I would be doing the same exact thing. Just to be completely vulnerable and totally honest with you guys, it's amazing to see how many people have been, you know, using ChatGPT as a therapist when it doesn't follow proper therapy protocols. You know, a therapist is not supposed to give their opinion. A therapist is they're there to validate you. They're there to basically encourage you to talk. What I experienced with my therapist, and he's been really good, is that he basically will sit and be quiet for a very, very long time. And I talk for ages. I talk for like, I'll be sat there yapping for like 10, 15 minutes in a row without stopping, and he'll just smile and nod, and then we'll ask the slightest, smallest question that goads you into saying more, and you just learn about yourself that way. You will just learn so much about yourself. Whereas, and that's, I think, what therapy is. You want to be able to understand yourself better so you know how to fix problems that you have. But the funny thing about ChatGPT is that it will always justify, and, you know, if you're speaking from personal experience, it will never disagree with you. It will always validate whatever you're saying. That's what it's designed to do. It's designed to give you a positive user experience. So if you say ChatGPT, is the state of Wisconsin in the continent of Africa, ChatGPT would state a fact and would say, no, the state of Wisconsin is in the United States of America. But if you say, ChatGPT, I feel like everyone in my life hates me, ChatGPT would probably say, well, maybe, you know, it's like you're wonderful and perfect and you've never made a mistake, and it's really sad that you feel that way, and I understand it. You know, if you've got a lot of bad feelings, it will justify and make you feel better about having these negative trains of thought. And, you know, I haven't spoken to ChatGPT, but a long time ago, and this is kind of embarrassing to admit, but whatever the fuck, like my whole career is full of me admitting embarrassing things. I don't know if you guys remember Replica. It was an app where you got to design a virtual friend, and you would be able to text them. And this is pre-ChatGPT, so the chat bottiness, it's like, this was after stuff like Cleverbot, chatbots, but it was obviously long before the super advanced AI we have these days. And a while ago, I did try it out, and I was like, man, you can start to notice a few problems. Koopa, thank you very much for the super. Perfectly functional delusion machine. Hey, if you're able to separate that from reality, then go for it. Have fun. Misty, thank you for the super. Ask if you can say hi to them. Also, they think you looking ripped as sick. Hey, thanks, bro. Thanks, bro. Thanks, Dylan. Thanks, Fred. Hope you guys are having a good night. But yeah, it's like it will just kind of repeat back to you whatever you say in a way, and it will, you know, you can tell it's not real. you can really tell it's not real. But then if you're feeling particularly bad, if you're having a really, really bad day, sometimes I can understand why a person would want this unfeeling robot to give them advice, because they know that's the thing about going to a friend with advice, you know? If you're very mentally unwell, going to a friend for advice carries a lot of risk. It carries the risk of them misinterpreting what you're saying, maybe even getting mad at you, or hitting you with an uncomfortable truth about that maybe you know, but you're not ready to acknowledge. I think everybody's got a lot of those. There is a lot of stuff that we don't want, that we know deep down is true, but we don't necessarily want to accept. A friend might hit you with that really, really hard, and that's so scary. A lot of people can't bring themselves to talk to their friends, or might not even have anyone to talk to in the first place. But AI will literally validate all of those feelings. It will keep them in that really comfortable delusion zone that they've put themselves in. All the denial, all of the, no, this happened because of this is because of this. That it will make sure that they stay there, and, that's really dangerous. So if I could give you any advice, I'd give you any advice in the world. Just try to be there for your friends. Try to make sure that people feel like they can talk to you when they have a problem. And, there's so much terminology that used to mean something that's now become popular, and people just, I feel like, especially with dating, TikTok and a lot of like Gen Alpha characters have kind of generated this weird set of really specific rules and buzzwords that like count as red flags in relationships. The one I keep thinking about is love bombing. Now, love bombing is a real thing, and love bombing literally is like a manipulation tactic. But when someone shows you loads and loads of affection, that isn't necessarily love bombing. They might just be being really nice. I've had a few experiences where I've kind of fucked up a potential relationship because I've been, lonely for a long time, and then we're in the talking stage, and I'm not moving too fast, but I tend to be very affectionate very quickly, and I've definitely scared some people off that way without meaning to. But nowadays, that someone would say, I heard from a friend recently, that he had been speaking with an ex of his who was trying to date new people, and they broke up, but they stayed friends. But this girl is trying to date new people, and this guy, and she has some bad habits, tends to go for the wrong guy, doesn't really notice when a bad guy is sort of, when she's dating someone, doesn't recognize that he doesn't really care about her. The kind, will often sleep with a guy on the first date, there's nothing particularly wrong with that, but it tends not to lead to a long-term relationship, because a lot of guys will see that as oh, I don't need to commit to anything. I could, we're just going to have sex whenever. Which is a shame. There's nothing wrong with casual sex, obviously, but, if you're looking for a relationship, then, that's not the best idea. But the one guy that doesn't do this is being really sweet, and they've been on multiple dates, and he's being affectionate, but she's saying, I don't know, I feel like he's love bombing me, and I'm like, it's just, it's just allow people to be nice. We're so afraid of proper relationships. We're so afraid of love. There are so many, especially on the internet, there are so many consequences of love, of people just being afraid of doing the wrong thing, saying the wrong thing. The worst thing that I can't stand is, yes, maybe you went on a dating app, and somebody had a weird looking profile, or somebody hit you with a bad pickup line. I can't fucking stand it when people will screenshot and post on social media someone's dating profile, because oftentimes it includes where they live. And it also, like, this person might not have any attachment to the internet whatsoever, and then they're, you know, them just trying to put themselves out there suddenly are just being ridiculed by thousands, if not millions of people on the internet. It's so socially acceptable to do this. There are so many examples of someone's dating profile without their permission just being posted on Twitter and going like mega viral because they have just a bad pickup line. Maybe they have a weird picture or like a bad selfie. It's so sad. Yeah, I mean, like, I've become very aware, as you can imagine, of the dangers of doxing and stuff. And I, for one, you know, something that affects me a lot, I get really nervous when people are filming in public. I tend to sort of, you know, especially if I'm walking around close to where I live, I tend to, like, you know, I try really hard to avoid cameras and stuff. And it makes me think, man, why are people so comfortable with just walking up and filming people? I hadn't thought about it that much before, but since joining Niji and since becoming so aware of how dangerous this stuff is, why is it so socially acceptable to just walk up to someone and film them? You know, it, like, unless you're in an altercation and you're filming something like for court or whatever it is, for legal reasons, for evidence, I don't think you should be filming anybody. I don't think that you should be pulling your phone out and waving it in somebody's face. I mean, in general, I guess I'm a bit of a boomer in that way, but I tend to feel I know it's like such a boomer thing to be like, all these kids on their damn phones, but I'm not a picture taker personally. If we go on a date, you're going to be the one who needs to take the pictures, or you need to, like, you know, ask me, hey, can you take pictures of me now? Because I will not think to do it. Okay? I will never think to do it. I'll take a picture if there's a view that I find very striking. I'll be like, oh wow. And then I'll take a picture. I have never taken a video from a concert. I have never taken a picture in a crowd. I don't think to do it. And when I see people in a crowd or, you know, and anything's going on, especially at a concert, when everyone is recording with their phones, I just find it so obnoxious. I find it so obnoxious because A, you're robbing yourself of just experiencing the concert on its own, and B, who the fuck are you recording for? Really think about that for a second. Who are you recording this for? Is it for your story? Like, who cares? Who cares that you went and you saw a concert? Like, I'm happy for you, but why do you need to record a play-by-play of every moment of your life? It just, you know, it practically, the surveillance state is already here. You're doing it. You know, even though so many people will be so, like, it's sort of you know, politically they'll say like, oh, I don't want anyone, I don't want the government to be surveilling me. You're literally just putting so much footage of the world and everyone around you out there all the time. You know, like, if I was the president of a country, if I was the mayor of a town, I would make it illegal to, you know, you can take videos and you can take pictures of outside, of buildings, of things you want to take pictures of nature, whatever, but deliberately making an unwilling second participant on the street the subject of your photo or video, get out of here. No, I don't think that should be legal. I think that, I mean, I'm sure it's not. I'm sure that you can sue. I'm sure you would be able to press charges if someone took a video of you without your consent. That must be possible. Surely. Oh no. Oh no, am I out of water? Oh my god, I go through this shit so fast. I drink water so fast. That's 6 bottles of water I've just gone down in like the past few hours. Oh man, and my throat's really dry already. Oh no. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh wow, fuck me. Yeah, I've been to a couple of concerts where they don't allow photographs and don't allow phones out, and I really appreciate that. Only 5 minutes. Yeah. We're gonna raid Mr. Clawmark in a sec. But yeah, obviously we'll raid in when it starts. Going to make the most of this last 5 minutes. Man, that was a good yap. That was a good yap session. This is why I enjoy Zatsu. This is why I really enjoy it. God, everybody's live right now. Zeorgan Joker is live. Ayamare is live. Ververmillion is live. Nana Stereo is live. Linus Tech Tips is live. Vantacrow Bringer is live. Why is Linus showing up before Vanta in my list of raidable waiting rooms? That's kind of concerning. I haven't really watched Linus in a while. Ludwig is live. He got some trans pride flags in his stream title. That's pretty cool. Good to see. All right, where's Claude? Where is Claude? There he is. Clawmark, the third dimension. All right, that's all set up. Say thank you for the 5 gifted. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you so much for all of your drawings of Vitruvius II. By the way, you've got. I really like seeing him in your style. It's very cute. Jennifer, thank you for the super. Would you get a nanny robot for Jimmy? I know you a stressing mother. If I was a single parent, absolutely I would get it. If there was a safe robot, you know, if there was a robot that was guaranteed to treat my children safely, then yes, I would get. Really, I would get. Well, I mean, I don't know. That's the issue, right? Like, if you get a robot to help you raise your kids, the worry is like, is the kid gonna, you know, be more? Are they gonna get more attached to the robot than they are to you? I guess it depends on how young they are. Like, if they're a baby, they're going to get more used to the robot than they are to you, and that's probably going to cause a whole load of developmental problems. Like, you know, God, you got to think about that. Like, the idea of a baby being cuddled by a robot, it's going to get used to cold surfaces. Like hugging a human being and feeling warmth, that's going to feel weird to them. Kind of like parent. Well, what I would want is for a robot to help with chores, because that's the hard part, right? Like, I think I'd be great at actually spending time with my kid. I think I would be great at, like, you know, roughhousing, taking them to sports, you know, maybe even, I mean, I'd find it's gross, obviously, but changing diapers, I think I would do okay at. Like, all of the actual dealing with the baby, I think I would do great at. But it's the other stuff, like making sure to clean the sheets, making sure the baby's always eating well. Although, to be fair, I feel like getting food for a baby is probably easy because they're always just eating mushy peas and, you know, it means baby food. You just get it in a thing. But I don't know. I would want to make unique food. I would want to give the baby a unique palate and to give it lots of different tastes and stuff. Easy, thank you for the super. Take care. I love you. And I love you, Izu. Thank you for the super. And Wallflower, thank you for the super as well. Big hug for you. Thank you so much. What the? Oh no, it's starting. I'm not stealing it. Okay, we're going to raid. Zia, thank you very much for the super. Looked at phone, found out I'm streaming. Life is beautiful. It is beautiful, but we're raiding into Claude's 3D, so I cannot stay. But thank you very much, everyone, for coming. I'm going to end the stream right away, so go and watch Claude. Have a great time, and keep an eye out, because there's going to be some pretty funny stuff that happens in this 3D. It's a really good one. So I'll see you soon. Bye-bye, everyone. Had a great stream. I love you. Bye!